My family left for a big trip without me, 17 people, 4 cars, and a secret group chat. A wrong text exposed their plan. I canceled the $12,500 booking. By morning, 101 missed calls and one word, emergency. Feeling left out must be a blast, huh? My uncle joked last Christmas, kind of laughing, kind of serious. That was after I offered to foot the bill for our family dinner. Back then, I figured he was just joking around, so I laughed too. But turns out, he wasn't kidding. Fast forward to this year, it's December 23rd, and I wake up in a completely silent house. No texts, no knocks on the door, no delicious breakfast smells, just a super quiet that weirdly felt like a blanket. The living room was spotless, save for a random charging cable and a couple of pine needles by the door. My suitcase lay there in the hallway, still unopened from my last work trip, toothbrush bone dry, wallet untouched. I thought maybe I was dreaming or everyone was just running late. So, I called my mom. She picked up on the second ring, like she wasn't expecting me or anything. I asked, "Hey, where is everyone?" There was one of those awkward pauses, like the kind when you know something's up. Then she goes, "We thought you were in the van with your cousins." I just sat there, speechless. 17 people packed into cars for a massive family road trip, and not one of them noticed I wasn't there. No calls, no one checked in on me, not even a seat saved. "I swear I thought Zach told me you were in the car too." "Maybe there was a mix-up," she added. Another silence. I hung up, didn't yell or question why I wasn't in the group chat, why they left me out of the planning, or why I'd been the one to help pay for that Airbnb in the mountains. Yeah, $12,500 on my credit card, and still, I didn't count. 2 hours later, my phone buzzed. It was a screenshot from my sister Emma. Clearly, it was meant for her friend Caitlin, not me. It showed the group chat, 17 names, the pinned itinerary. Her message underneath read, "He's really not here, OMG, our plan worked." I just stared at it. Didn't reply right away, didn't call her. Just sat at the kitchen table, opened my laptop, logged into Airbnb, and quietly hit cancel. The refund processed in seconds. My money would be back in the account within 3 to 5 business days. Then I sent a simple message back, "Merry Christmas." No punctuation, emojis, or anger. Just a line they'd remember. Half an hour later, my phone blew up, 42 missed calls, then 70. One message simply said emergency. I turned my phone off, it was time for step 2. The first call I picked up was from Dad, his voice sounding raw like he'd been screaming all day. "What did you do? You canceled the whole house." "No," I replied calmly, "I canceled my booking. It just happened to be the entire booking because it was on my card." "You think this is a joke?" He barked back. "There are 17 people standing outside a cabin in the snow. You think I'm a joke?" I snapped and hung up. I turned my phone back on an hour later, and the chaos had reached a new level. Calls from my mom, Aunt Marianne, cousin Leo, Emma again, even her boyfriend, Zach, who somehow got into the family faster than I could get a group invite. I didn't answer. I just watched, because for once, I wasn't scrambling to fix the mess they made. For 3 years straight, I'd been the go-to guy paying for every holiday rental. "We'll send you our share later." Every birthday gift for the cousins was on me. Whenever Emma's car broke down, guess who she called? Not because I was her brother, but because I was the convenient option. Mom once told me, "You're the responsible one. That's why we lean on you." No, I was the quiet one, which is why they presumed I wouldn't push back. They treated me like an unending credit card. Fake apologies, real lies. By Christmas Eve, they were in full panic mode. Mom texted, "We didn't mean to exclude you. It was just hectic with Emma's kids and Zach's visa. Please, let's not ruin Christmas." I didn't reply. Emma posted on Instagram, trying to play it cool from some roadside diner near the mountains. Black coffee, messy hair, with a caption, "Family means not always agreeing but always forgiving." I chuckled. The comments were all about sympathy, stay strong. Hope things settle down. People reveal their true selves when it counts. Then I saw it. A story from her private account, the one I wasn't supposed to follow anymore. A screenshot of our family group chat without me. Caption, "He's finally out. Can't believe it took this long." Below, a photo of the Airbnb refund email, the one I got. They planned it. Knew I'd foot the bill. Knew I'd be left out. And assumed I'd still pay up. I checked my statements. Not just Airbnb, Emma had been using my Netflix, my Spotify, my Amazon Prime, including several next day orders for hiking gear. None of it for me, none of it with me, but all on my tab. Then I saw it. A $780 charge at a ski rental store in Aspen. I'd never even been skiing. They'd used my login, my autofilled card, my identity. I screenshotted everything. And that's when I realized, it was time to reclaim my peace. So, 2 years back, Emma begged me to help her with her debt, just for a short 3 months. Fast forward 31 months, and the silence from them turned into a total backstab. On Christmas night, I decided to post something, but it wasn't for the public, just a close friend story. It had a screenshot of a refund confirmation with a caption that said, "Guess I wasn't as invisible as they thought." By the next morning, my messages were blowing up from people I hadn't heard from in ages. My cousin Leo hit me up like, "Hey man, I didn't know they didn't invite you. That's messed up. I only went because they said you couldn't make it." Then Aunt Marianne chimed in, surprised that I was footing the bill. She thought my parents took care of the house expenses. But the real kicker was Zach, Emma's boyfriend, who was this tag-along guy. He nervously texted me, saying he had no clue about all this. Emma told him I volunteered for the Airbnb, and she also said I didn't like people much anymore and was fragile. Yeah, fragile, the same word my dad used last year when I said I was burned out from work. Being called fragile doesn't sit well with me. Zach's call blew the whole thing wide open. He revealed that Emma had planned this perfect family trip since October. She called it her Christmas rebrand. New vibe, new family dynamics. Apparently, that meant excluding me. She told Zach she'd handle the Airbnb but let it slip to Mom that I volunteered to pay. She never even told anyone I was coming or added me to any planning sessions. Emma just said, "You just get in the way." Zach quietly confessed that he tried to argue for my inclusion, but Emma told him, "Don't worry. He's used to being left out, he won't even notice." I ended the call silently and started compiling evidence, a folder with old messages, screenshots, Emma's Instagram stories, invoices from Amazon and Airbnb, and anything showing that I was supposedly part of the family but always the last to know and the first to pay. Then I looked up Airbnb chargebacks and fraud for the amount of $112,500. They thought I'd just fade away into my quiet little apartment with half-done puzzles and unspoken gripes. But they were wrong. As they were posting pics in matching flannels on snowy trails, I was already 10 steps ahead. Here's the kicker, Emma forgot my Spotify account was still logged into her phone. She'd been using my premium for months, no ads, unlimited skips, and it showed her GPS location. I could see her moving around, cabin, store, trails, and then the dinner reservation, 7 p.m. at Mountain Hearth Lodge, Aspen Room. I booked myself a table at the same lodge an hour earlier. Armed with my laptop, the used folder, and a stack of transaction receipts, I dressed in a suit I hadn't worn since my last job interview and drove up in silence, fueled by my anger. At 7 p.m., in the Aspen Room, they were all there, tables pushed together for 17 people, my seat predictably empty. I watched for a moment. Mom was nervously smiling, Dad was pouring wine like he was hosting a gala, Emma was probably counting likes on her Christmas post, and Zach looked miserable. I walked over, and silence dropped like a bomb. Someone, maybe Aunt Julia, whispered, "Oh no." "Hey everyone," I said, trying to sound cheerful. "I heard we're having Christmas dinner." Silence. Emma then said, "This isn't your reservation." I smiled and said, "Actually, it is. You're sitting under my name, the one who paid for this lodge package. Check the receipt." My dad stood up, telling me I was causing a scene. "No," I replied, "I'm making a point." I opened my laptop and displayed the folder to the table. Let's start with the Airbnb invoice, my name, my card, $12,500, followed by the refund confirmation and Emma's text saying, "He's really not here. OMG, our plan worked." Emma tried to talk, I raised my hand to stop her. Then we went through the Amazon orders, hiking gear, ski boots, Emma's new parka, all on my Prime account. Next, Netflix, Spotify, Uber, all billed to me. I turned to my parents, showing them grocery delivery receipts they claimed came from their pension, but the card number said otherwise. Lastly, I pulled out the snapshot of Emma's private story, "He's finally out. Can't believe it took this long." Dead silence. My mom looked like she'd swallowed something bitter. Dad was gripping his jaw so hard it looked like he was about to crack a tooth. Zach stood up slowly, cleared his throat, and said, "Yeah, I'm done." Emma turned to him, surprised, saying, "What? Seriously?" He raised his hand and said he had tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, but what she did was cruel. She used him, lied to everyone, and all for a photo op. Emma stuttered, "You don't understand." Zach shot back, I understand enough. I'm not spending another night in that cabin. You all are impossible. Aunt Marianne quietly said something to Mom, while Uncle Leo chimed in, I didn't know you covered all this, man. I thought you just didn't want to come. Dad finally lost it and shouted, this is exactly why we didn't invite you. You always play the victim, making people feel guilty. I stepped closer and said, no, I act like someone who's tired of paying to be ignored. Then, I pulled out a portable speaker and hit play. Emma's voice filled the room, clear as day, don't worry, he's used to being left out. He won't even notice. It was a voice memo from a month ago, sent to Zach and saved automatically in the chat. Emma lunged at me, shouting, turn it off. But I just turned up the volume. Mom stood up, saying, please, we can discuss this. I replied, no, the time for talking is over. Then, I pulled out a simple business card with this dinner was paid for by the one you left behind. Bon appetit written on it. I put it in the center of the table, closed my laptop, and walked out. Behind me, I could hear chairs moving, a plate clattering, someone muttering, Jesus Christ. Outside, the snow had just started falling. By the time I got back to the city, my story was already spreading. Zach went home after dinner and posted online, saying, sometimes you find out too late that the people closest to you can plan cruelty like it's a holiday tradition. He didn't name names, but people quickly connected the dots. The next morning, I went public. I posted a thread without a dramatic caption, just the facts. They left on the big family trip in 4 cars, with 17 people, and one group chat that didn't include me. I woke up alone in the house I paid for. 2 hours later, I got a message that said, he's really not here. OMG, our plan worked. So I canceled the $12,500 booking and let the truth come out. I shared screenshots of transactions, the voice memo, the messages, the lodge receipt, and a photo of the dinner table with 17 people frozen in silence as I walked away. The post blew up, getting thousands of likes, retweets, and comments. People shared their own stories about siblings who constantly took advantage, manipulative parents, and relatives who only remembered you when they needed money. Someone commented, you didn't just cancel Christmas, you reclaimed it. Later, Mom messaged me, asking me to take the post down because people were calling and they were embarrassed. She said it wasn't supposed to go public, and Dad thought I had gone too far, threatening to talk to a lawyer. Emma hadn't stopped crying. I didn't reply. The next day, Emma messaged me too, writing just one line, you ruined everything. I finally replied, no, Emma, I revealed it. On December 26th, I uploaded a video of just me, sitting on a chair against a white background, speaking calmly. I explained that I didn't want to do this, but they made me the villain, and I didn't even know there was a script. They planned a trip with my money, excluding me, then laughed about it. So here's the truth, not for revenge but for the record. I laid out the years of being the dependable one, how they used and excluded me, and then tried to gaslight me into silence. I played the voice memo and ended with this, if you've ever been the one left behind, here's your sign. It's not your fault, it's theirs. The video got 3 million views in a week. They tried to save face. Dad posted a half apology on Facebook, saying families fight but real men don't air dirty laundry. Uncle Leo commented, should have just invited him. Emma tried to pivot, posting an Instagram story with a black screen saying, people change when you stop letting them manipulate you. I see clearly now, I laughed. She was trying to make herself the victim. Something unexpected happened, though. 3 of my younger cousins, the quiet and overlooked ones, messaged me separately. Each one thanked me for saying what they couldn't. One of them even said, I saw myself in your video. I thought I was crazy. Now I know I'm not. That hit me harder than anything. It wasn't just my story, it was a blueprint for getting out. Then, a business offer came. A content platform I had never heard of messaged me, offering to turn my story into a short series, narrated anonymously. I said yes, with one condition. I'm not chasing fame, I just want people like me to feel noticed. They got it. Then, out of the blue, an email popped up from a law firm, not for me, but for them. It turns out Emma had used my name and financial info to score better health insurance. Yeah, that's fraud, and the legal drama is just waiting to unfold. No more quiet generosity from me. On New Year's Eve, I shared one last story, a picture of my neat, cozy apartment, a glass of wine on the windowsill. The caption read, this year I unwrapped the truth, and it was better than anything I ever got under the tree. No likes from family, but plenty of hearts from strangers and unexpected allies. I watched fireworks alone that night, feeling freer than ever. By January 3rd, I'd changed my number, no warnings, no goodbye messages, nothing like that. I let it fade away like an old voicemail on a phone nobody bothers to charge anymore. The last few messages trickled in right on cue. Emma asking if I was really going to cut everyone off, Dad saying I'd made my point and should fix things, Mom reminding me I'm still her son. But that didn't matter. I finally got it through my head that I wasn't included out of love, but convenience. The moment I stopped footing the bill, took a stand, and quit apologizing, I was no longer family, I was a nuisance, a problem, a threat to their story. I didn't ghost them, I outgrew them. I signed the lease on a new place, 27th floor, downtown, with south-facing windows. No extra bedrooms or oversized couches, it's not a crash pad. The first thing I unpacked was a photo of me at dinner, right before I left the table of 17. I framed it and hung it in the hallway, not as a trophy but a reminder, never beg to be where you're not wanted. A message they couldn't ignore. On January 8th, a real letter arrived from my parents' lawyer, asking me to take down anything public and say it's fictionalized. I laughed it off and replied, my stuff is factual, documented, and protected. Discovery will include loads of records, and oh, good luck with the fraud probe into Emma's insurance. Y'all never contacted me again. I went beyond revenge. Within 6 weeks of going public, I got invites for 3 podcasts, a panel on toxic family stuff, and a photo shoot in Toronto. I turned down most but did one, the first one. The host asked what I'd say to the blood is thicker than water crowd. I smiled and replied, then don't be shocked when your own family tries to drown you. I opened a co-working space called Not Included on the city's edge for creatives, freelancers, and folks who clawed out of messes, needing a fresh start. On opening day, I taped up that first message from Emma, he's really not here. OMG, our plan worked. Framed under glass with the line, and now I am. Do I miss them? I miss who I thought they were. People ask if I've forgiven them. I say I've released them. Not the same thing, really. I don't hate them or wish them harm, but I don't carry them with me anymore. I avoid unknown numbers, ignore old conversations, and don't question what I could have done differently, because I did everything right, and they still chose to leave me out. My final words to them were quiet but definitive. Christmas card season came early. I sent just one to my parents' house, a photo of me in front of the Not Included sign. No caption, no return address, just a post-it note inside, next time, try paying for your vacation. I wasn't forgotten, I was erased. But I turned it into a billboard, and now they drive past it every day without being able to step inside. Not anymore. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real-life stories happening around you.